In the dense canopy of the Congo rainforest, where the sunlight dances through the leaves and the calls of exotic birds fill the air, there was a legend whispered among the locals. It was a tale of the Gorilla Kings, two magnificent and intelligent gorillas who wore golden chains as a symbol of their wisdom and leadership. They were guardians of the jungle's most precious secret. Our story begins with Mia Tanaka, a fearless explorer with an unquenchable thirst for adventure. She had trekked through jungles and climbed mountains, always in search of the unknown. Mia's latest quest had led her here, guided by the fragmented stories of the Gorilla Kings and their hidden treasure. Wearing her trusty hat and with a compass in hand, Mia found herself seated between the two Gorilla Kings, ready to embark on an adventure that would become the stuff of legends. The Gorilla Kings, named Congo and Goma, communicated with Mia through a series of grunts and gestures that she had learned to understand during her time in the jungle. They had accepted her presence because she had shown them respect and kindness, helping them remove poachers' traps and sharing her food. In return, they had agreed to lead her to the ancient temple where the treasure was said to be hidden, but the path was treacherous and the temple guarded by challenges only the worthy could overcome. As they set off on their journey, the first obstacle they faced was the River of Whispers. It was said that the river was home to spirits who could lure travelers to a watery grave with their hypnotic songs. Mia and the Gorilla King stood at the riverbank, devising a plan to cross the dangerous waters without falling prey to the spirit's siren calls. Kondo found a series of large stones that led across the river, and with careful precision, they began to hop from one to the other, Mia following the steady pace of the gorillas. Through the steady determination of the trio, Mia, Kondo, and Goma emerged on the other side, unscathed and emboldened. The jungle seemed to acknowledge their feat with a hushed silence before the cacophony of wildlife once again filled the air. Their next challenge came swiftly, in the form of the strangling vines, a network of sentient plants known for their taste for secrets and their strength to ensnare those who bore deceit. To pass through, one must share a truth. Kondo grunted a deep sound that echoed through the vines, causing them to retract slightly, allowing passage. Goma followed with a softer set of tones, and the path cleared further. When it came to Mia, she stood before the vines, which loomed like sentient guards, their leaves rustling with anticipation. She closed her eyes and spoke a truth she had never confessed aloud. "I seek not the treasure for wealth, but to find the cure hidden within, to save my sister's life." The vines recoiled entirely at her words, opening a path that glowed with a soft light, inviting them forward. Their journey continued through the now parting path, the strangling vines behind them seeming to murmur in respect. The dense foliage began to thin as they approached the temple's outer edges, which was said to be protected by the cunning and mighty serpent of the emerald canopy. Before them lay the ancient temple, its stones weathered by time, entwined with the emerald arms of the jungle. The path Mia had opened led them to an archway, beyond which darkness loomed, promising further secrets and perils. As they entered, the air turned cool and still. The only light came from the glowing moss that clung to the temple walls. Their steps echoed in the vastness of the halls, a testament to a civilization long forgotten. The temple was alive with history, each relief and carving a chapter of the story it held. The Serpent of the Emerald Canopy was no mere legend. It was the temple itself, a labyrinthine entity that would test their will and wisdom. The deeper they went, the more the walls seemed to shift, paths changing, leading them in circles, until Mia noticed a pattern. The gorillas had a natural sense for the true path, unfooled by the temple's guile. Trusting in her companions, Mia let Kondo and Goma guide her through the serpent's body, ever closer to the heart of the temple where the treasure awaited. But the treasure was not what any of them expected. It was not gold or jewels that awaited them, but an ancient knowledge carved into the stone, a cure derived from the jungle's own bounty. It was a treasure not of material wealth, but of life-saving wisdom, long sought by those pure of heart. As Mia traced her fingers over the ancient carvings, the reality of their discovery began to sink in. The cure, an intricate recipe of rare herbs and flowers, promised a healing power beyond any modern medicine. But the knowledge alone was not enough. The ingredients were scattered throughout the jungle, each guarded by its own challenge. The ancient text was clear. To concoct the cure, they needed to gather 3 elusive ingredients, each protected by the fierce and wild guardians of the jungle. The first ingredient on their list was the luminescent orchid, said to bloom under the light of the full moon atop the mighty kuvu tree. It was the tallest tree in the forest, scraping the sky with its majestic crown. Mia, Kondo, and Goma set out at dusk as the moon began to cast its silver glow over the jungle. The air buzzed with the sounds of nocturnal life awakening. Kondo, with his towering frame, took the lead. He reached up, his powerful arms pulling them up the colossal tree with ease. Mia, secured by a vine harnessed around her waist, ascended with Kondo's help, plucking the glowing orchid that shimmered like a star against the dark canvas of the night. Their next journey led them to the heart of the jungle, where the darkest depths housed the shadow vine. The vine was known to be as elusive as a whisper, visible only to those who knew the secret sounds of the forest. Goma, with ears attuned to the jungle's symphony, listened for the subtle rustle distinct to the shadow vine. They moved with care, avoiding the sleeping predators and navigating through the dense undergrowth. Finally, Goma paused, tilting his head towards a nearly imperceptible murmur. There, entwined around an ancient fallen log, was the shadow vine, its leaves absorbing the faint light, rendering it nearly invisible. Mia carefully untangled a segment, and they retreated silently, leaving the slumbering jungle undisturbed. The final ingredient was the most daunting, the tear of the moon, a seed found within the depths of the crystal cavern, guarded by the crystal serpents. These creatures were blind to movement and deaf to sound, sensing only the intent in one's heart. The cavern was a maze of reflective walls and sharp turns, a puzzle only solvable by the pure of heart. Mia led the way, her intentions clear and focused. She moved with a grace and certainty that baffled the serpents, her heart's echo guiding her to the seed's resting place. It sat upon a pedestal of stone, bathed in a shaft of moonlight that pierced the cavern. With a breath held tight, Mia reached out, her fingers closing around the cool seed. Together, the trio emerged from the cavern, the ingredients for the cure safe in Mia's satchel. They returned to the temple as the first light of dawn brushed the horizon, painting the world in hues of hope. Now they had all they needed to unlock the ancient healing secrets of the jungle. With the tear of the moon gently placed alongside the luminescent orchid and the shadow vine, the trio ventured back to the temple. The journey back was less harrowing, as if the jungle recognized their noble purpose and eased their path. The sun, now fully risen, cast a golden light through the canopy, turning leaves into translucent gems. Upon reaching the temple, Mia spread the ingredients before the stone altar at the center of the sanctum. The ancient recipe was etched into the altar itself, a series of pictographs that detailed the precise preparation. Kondo and Goma watched closely, their intelligent eyes following Mia's every move, ready to assist with their strength and intuition. First, Mia ground the shadow vine's leaves using a stone pestle. The friction released a sweet, pungent scent that filled the air, a fragrance that promised healing. She then carefully extracted the essence of the luminescent orchid, its glow dimming as it surrendered its potency to the blend. Lastly, the tear of the moon, placed in the concoction, dissolved, its crystalline structure unleashing a burst of energy that seemed to pulsate through the temple. As the mixture settled, a liquid of deep indigo formed, shimmering with an inner light. Mia decanted the cure into a small vial, corking it with a piece of vine. Kondo grunted, a sound that echoed both congratulation and relief, while Goma simply placed a gentle hand on Mia's shoulder, a gesture of silent solidarity. Their return to Mia's world was marked by a newfound reverence for the balance between man and nature. Mia administered the cure to her sister, who recovered with a speed that astounded modern medicine. The cure did more than heal. It was a catalyst that brought Mia's advocacy for the preservation of such precious ecosystems to the forefront of public consciousness. Mia, Kondo, and Goma had forged an unbreakable bond, a bridge between humanity and the wild. The Gorilla Kings, once just a legend whispered in the wind, were now ambassadors for the jungle's mysteries, its protectors, and its voice. The story of their quest rippled out into the world, inspiring others to explore not for conquest, but for connection. The tale of the explorer and the gorilla kings became a testament to the incredible treasures that lie in wait for those who approach the natural world with respect, humility, and an open heart.